It was not until 1:30 today I realized that it was Friday, not Thursday. Today's Friday. Hello. So I know that the full moon is tonight, and I thought, I'm not even gone somewhere. So I quickly got the car charged to 100% and decided to come on a micro adventure. Guess where we are? We all need our cell phone towers, right? I have a vague feeling like I should be going somewhere. Yeah, I probably should be following the crowd, heading down there. If these rocks could collect royalties, they would be richer than God, I'm pretty sure, given the number of times they've been photographed, like this guy is doing. I actually wanted to interview him, but I wasn't brave enough to ask. Part of my brain feels like I should be filling you up with information and facts and whatnot, but I really like to just hang out and people watch and let you kind of enjoy without having to listen to my voice drone on and on. Not bad. Not bad. I had read a tip online, I think it was on the Google Maps reviews, to bring a chair. So, if you're lucky, you get a rock. But not only I brought the chair, I brought my cooler. Because everybody knows that a cooler is the best footrest, right? It was pretty easy to plan when you're just going to plan on being gone for 24 hours. Well, micro adventure. I have my camping stuff basically set. I even slimmed down, or pared down rather, and brought just what I needed. It didn't take me long at all to get ready to take off. I love that. These are long shots, I never know what I'm gonna want as footage, but like I've said in a previous video, a lot of this footage is for me, so that when my arthritis takes over, I can look back and watch this beautiful footage and remember these moments. The whole experience was a good one. I was just gone, for 24 hours. It was just, a 2.5-hour drive. I was talking about how I thought maybe it had gotten too famous for its own good, but they definitely have cracked down on overnight parking. You basically cannot park overnight anywhere. And But there's also no trash. Feels very safe and secure. It's still very beautiful. In this parking lot where you come up and pay $3 to park across the street, I was chatting with the lady, who was collecting the money. She told me that it closed at midnight. The parking lot closed at midnight. There was no gate that I could see. And when I did go back in the morning, she had told me that I could come back and she would recognize me because of my hat, and that she would let me stay there the next day without paying again. So anyway, I came back the next day, and I did not see her. I got there before the cash register was even open. But I did see a van parked in the, it was already parked when I was there. It had a couple bikes on the back. I was wondering if they were van lifers. I was wondering if they might, offer to let people sleep there overnight if they paid. Maybe they could charge $10 or something, because there are already 4 porta potties in that parking lot. All right, here we go. We're going from sunset to moonrise. That was the whole goal here. The moon was coming up just opposite. It looks like the sun rising, doesn't it? That shadow that you see of me is actually from the moon. The moon is casting that shadow. Well, nobody said I couldn't come here. Nobody else is here. Check it out. I had not planned on stopping when I left that scenic lookout at the airport. I was tired. I thought, I'm just going to go check into Motel Y, right? But I saw some people walking down the street, and the moon was so bright. You just get the energy. There's a blue house on the hill behind me. And then we've got Center for the New Age across the street. Check it out. I actually got inspired by a creator I watch, Toby Explores, because he goes out at night, He's out in these little English towns at 11 p.m., at 12 p.m., and I'm just like, why? Why do we all go hide indoors when it's so beautiful out? We are plugged into shore power. Good morning. In a shocking turn of events, it was sunny and beautiful the next day. I forget the name of this little stop. There are a number of them along the road. It says no parking unless you pay the day use fee. So, I just stopped for a second. Shot a few pictures. Oh, look at this. Today I have this airport viewing point all to myself. Is there anything better than having your mornings free? You don't have to rush off to do anything. I was hoping to be able to capture, the definition of the rocks come out as the sun rose in the sky, but I don't think I'm in the right place to capture what I wanted there. If we had the audio on my stomach right now, you would know how hungry I am. And I was starving last night when I arrived here. So, after having watched, I was starving. So here's my confession. Here's what I did. This whole half is intact. This is what I ate. This much of this half. And I probably eat more of these things. These horrible... I closed the lid. The point I'm trying to make is that I was so hungry and I bought a $26 hamburger. Even though I'm on a $300 food budget for the whole month, I spent $26 on that one meal. Was it worth $26? Absolutely not. Far from it. And then after having spent that much, I couldn't eat it. Maybe I felt bad. Maybe it was a psychological thing. I couldn't eat. Now, I did on the way home at the last charging stop. I actually ate the meat from that burger. So I'm happy to report I did not totally waste it. This is the airport scenic parking lot, by the way, where I'm getting the shade of this tree. I have owned this little it's really a hiking stove more than a camping stove, since I first started acquiring all this camping stuff back in 2020, I guess it was. So if you want to skip ahead, you can. This is just a little demo of how I use it. So we've got our propane tank in the side cubby, side basement. I took took some scraps of porcelain tile just to have a nice, steady, non-flammable surface. And then you turn the gas on this way till you hear it. To the left. I'm sure it's on. And then, boop. Do we have flame? My kids, oh yeah, we have flame. And then you adjust the level of the flame with the control on the propane bottle. So let me just go. Oh, did I turn it off? No, it's still on. So I'm full blasting it. And then this is oil. And then to turn it all the way off, you just righty-tighty. And it's off. I'm afraid I had a little accident. Can you tell? I decided that, you know, I really couldn't be here without actually taking something of a hike. So I did this easy little hike up to the summit of a nearby viewpoint. They seem to be everywhere in this place. Hardly a hike, it's more like a staircase going up there. After my little hike up there, by this time it's about, I don't know, 11:30ish, and it was getting pretty hot, and I was a little bit tired. I did not have a great sleep at Motel Y. So I just put my seat back, took my sun roof cover off, and relaxed. And then I went back to Tlaquepec, the place we stopped last night that had the fountain. It was totally empty. Well, today, not so empty. Here's the place on Google Maps. They call it Arts and Shopping Village. It was so lovely. I just spent all my time in this cool little courtyard fountain. But this place has beautiful galleries, little shops, sculptures all around. I mean, I could have spent all afternoon just cruising around. And this is a bougie French restaurant that had the homemade. Well, once again, I have to stop by the charger on the way back. So we'll go do that. While we're waiting to finish this charge here, looks like we have another 2 minutes. I will give a negative review for this sunshade. Look, it relies on the visors to keep it up. It has these huge gaps on the sides. No, Nico has a much better one. What brand is this even? Let me see. Does it have a brand on it? So I will call them out. It's custom made and everything. It was expensive. Here's the brand. Hold on. Here they are. Premier Series Covercraft, right? UVS 100 by Covercraft. No, do better, Covercraft. I found my order from whenever it was. Covercraft is the name of the company. Look how expensive these things are. Ugh. Now, let's not forget to go into our thermostat app and turn turn the target temperature down to 80 from 88. And because we see at home it is 108 degrees is the high, and there's alerta de calor extremo, extreme heat alert. So good luck to the air conditioning unit. Well, the pump still has not managed to cool down to 80. It might not make it. My heat pump did eventually manage to get it back down to 80 degrees in the house. I think it was 4:30 when I noticed it had gotten back. Thanks again for joining me. It makes it worthwhile to make these videos for all of us.